Welcome to Last in Line podcast, where we are highlighting, showcasing, and spotlighting great leaders of faith who have overcome adversity, cultivated resilience, and served others in a significant capacity. So settle in and be encouraged by this episode of Last in Line podcast. Hey, welcome back. We have another episode for you. Believe it or not, we're here. We're back. You're back. And this is going to be a good one, guys. I'm telling you, this might just tee you up for success for the rest of your life. That's right. I'm putting it out there, lobbing you a softball today that could very well change your win-loss record. And you're going to be different today. I'm going to actually be a little sharper today because together we are. Iron sharpens iron. But I got to tell you, before I get into all this, I feel like I should make an announcement regarding a couple of partners that we're pursuing. And without giving out any names, I just want to first, I guess I'll give out one name. Thank you to Uncommon for partnering with us, the ministry for equipping men to be the fathers, husbands, leaders they were called to be. And appreciate TJ supporting us. But we got a couple of other ones in the works that I'm excited about. And I got to tell you, for those listening right now, the only reason I have any success whatsoever finding people to actually join with us and partner with us and agree to even coming on here as a guest is because I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of people. I'm not saying anything special about me, but this is for somebody out there right now that either is too lazy to ask or too intimidated to ask or too insecure to ask. If you're fearful of rejection, that's the only thing that's going to keep you back from getting the support and the sponsors and the people to help you or to come on your show if you're a podcast host or anything in any walk of life. If you're single and you're looking for a mate, if you're not going to ask that girl out, you're never going to have her. If you don't ask for the promotion and give reasons why you've earned it, they're not going to come to you. If we're waiting on people to come to us because we're so special and we deserve it, then we're going to be waiting a long time. We're going to be sitting outside watching the grass grow by ourselves. So this is for you to, I think, get some courage in you. I know you have it. You've shown it in your life before. And for whatever reason, it's knocked, life's knocked you around or failure has gotten the better of you a time or two. And now you've just kind of thrown in the towel and given up the will to fight. I got to tell you, go after something. Find something you want, go after it. You're not going to be any worse off than you are right now. You're not going to not have that relationship, that promotion, that partnership any more than you don't currently have it because it's not yours now. So go for it. I'm the guy that does it. I've had people reach out to me that says, man, how do you get these guys on your show? And be honest with you, I am way over my head with some of the guests I have. I've outkicked my coverage tenfold when it comes to things that they've accomplished, maybe dollars in the bank account. Not that is a huge deal, but maybe some of the ways they influence followers on Instagram, just people that they have helped. I mean, there are people out there that are tenfold, head and shoulders above things that, I've accomplished or you've accomplished, but we've gotten them on the show because A, they're humble, B, they want to serve, C, they're followers of Christ, and they know that at any moment it could be taken from them. So they're not too good or too powerful or too important to help us help you. So that's where we're at. Don't really know why I said all that, but hopefully that encouraged somebody. So today I got one for you. Got a question. I might have a few questions for you. They're rhetorical, but they're things that you could ask yourself. And if you're honest, I think you could get somewhere. You could dig to the bottom of the well that is your intestinal fortitude, I guess. All right, here we go. Are you understandarding? Not understanding. Are you understandarding? Are you setting your standards too low on purpose or unintentionally or subconsciously, you don't realize that you're self-sabotaging by setting low standards. Or you have justified it to yourself that you're setting them low, not to self-sabotage, but maybe to give you a false positive. I mean, if you grew up in the 80s, or heck, you could have grown up in the 2000s and still seen the movie Rocky 3, his manager was trying to protect him by setting up and arranging and promoting these fights of way, 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 way more inferior talent just to pad his win-loss record and to keep him safe. And so Rocky was fighting just really some low rent talent, and he was winning, and he was thinking he was something special, when in fact, Mickey, his manager, arranged all of it and just pretty much sandbagged the crown, the belt. He won the championship belt and defended the title several times, but those were paper championships. They were nothing because the competition was nothing. So are you understanding what I'm saying? So 3 ways tonight, 3 ways to stop living below the standard. And I say the standard, not your standard. So I believe God has developed a standard for us. Otherwise, why would he make a point of telling us he created us in his image? Why would he keep reinforcing that we're more than conquerors? Why would he say that we're overcomers? Why would he say that we are designed for something more, that he can do exceedingly abundantly above all we could ever hope or imagine? Why we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us? Why would he reinforce that in his word to us if he was okay with us setting low standards and living up to low standards? So you don't get to say, these are my standards. We're going to live up to the standard set long before we were ever here. Okay, so here's some thoughts for you to ponder. Okay, I want to have you, get on the couch, lay down. This is therapy session for me too, except I can't quite lay down. But all right, as your therapist, I want to ask you some questions. What are we afraid of? Deep down, what are we afraid of? We can all be honest. I can be honest, and I'll speak for me. I think we're afraid to let ourselves down and feel less empowered if we have high standards and we fall short. I don't think we allow ourselves to fail. And I'll get to that in a little bit because of some other factors, but self-accountability has fallen through the cracks, I believe, right now, because we're in such a participation trophy culture that we can't bear the thought of looking ourselves in the mirror and say, ooh, I missed that goal. It was lofty. It was audacious, but I missed it. So now I feel less than. Now I feel inferior. I don't think we're capable. I know we're capable. I just don't think we're up for it. I don't think our spine is strong enough right now to look ourselves and say, wow, okay, that was high goal and I missed it. In fact, I'll give you an example, because, it feels like I'm kicking you guys right in the crotch tonight, but it's coming at me too, because in my job, every quarter, someone else determines what my goals are. And every time, without fail, they're higher than I think they should be, of course, right? And my salary depends on that. And so I actually looked at the first quarter this year goals and just kind of threw up my hands because they looked completely unattainable. So, of course, the first month of the quarter, I didn't even know what they were. So they didn't tell us what they were till almost halfway through the second month. And if you're in sales, that's ridiculous. I mean, we're motivated by that, so first month goes by. I have no idea what my goals are. I did pretty good though. So the goals come out and I realize, okay, first month I was short. I was 90%. Second month I was 80%. So I'm floundering emotionally. I'm like, okay, well, throwing the towel in, tanking this quarter, it's a done deal. But I kept working. I kept grinding, kept trying. I don't think about the goals because I want to just think about the process. I want to think about The same boring fundamentals that have made me successful. I want to keep doing those because I figured out what works, and I'm just going to let the results be up to God and let him sort it out. So March comes around, I'm working hard. I'm on pace to, yes, I'm going to fall a little short of the ridiculous goals they set, but I'm going to have the best month I've ever had with this particular product. I'm still going to be about 95% to quota, but coming from 80% the month before, I could have just quit. I could have given up, could have said, forget it. They set them too high. I can't hit those. So I'm just going to throw in the towel. But guess who that punishes? Not them. The person who made the goal isn't losing a minute's sleep. It's just going to hurt me. So what good does it do? I circle this all the way back, guys, full circle to you're doing that to yourself. You're setting them low enough where you feel like you can hit them. And then you're walking with your chest out and your head up thinking you've done something. My challenge to you tonight is to set crazy goals that you even think you can't hit. So live up to the standard. Let's not fall to our standard. And if you're not doing that, then hey, this isn't for you, but I guarantee you know somebody who is, so don't turn this off. So that was the first question. What are we afraid of? Second question is, or not really a question, but a thought to ponder. We give ourselves permission to resign to complacency. That goes into what I was just saying. We feel better about ourselves when we hit a goal that's average. So we've given ourselves permission to resign to the complacency of, I think these goals are just good enough. And I can get there, but I don't have to exert any other effort. So to put it into a weightlifting analogy, when I'm lifting weights 5 days a week and I'm going out, I could very easily load the bar with something that, maybe a little stressful, but it doesn't strain me. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't make me want to shoot myself because of the pain and the soreness that follow. I could do that and I could feel good about myself because guess what? Hey, I worked out today. You know how many guys are not working out? I'm working out 5 days a week. I'm 50 years old. I'm sticking my chest out. I'm something. Nope. Go back to the Rocky analogy. Rocky's holding up the championship belt, but he's beating nobody. He doesn't deserve it because he's not fighting up to his standard. So I'm loading the bar where I can barely get 4 reps or 5 reps, if that. And when I finish, I feel like I'm going to die. In fact, my wife hears me in the garage and she texts me saying, "Are you okay?" Because I'm exerting substantial effort. But I don't leave my goals down here where I wouldn't have to, but I could still feel good about them. Does that make sense to you? Because if you're nodding your head, then you're doing it too. If you're honest, I'm being transparent. You might as well be too. No one's with you. You don't have to hide. You don't have to wear the mask anymore. Let's get naked with how real we are about ourselves. So we give ourselves permission to resign to complacency. That's not doing you any good. It's not making you better. You're not growing. Therefore, the benefit and the contribution you're going to be able to make to the people around you and the way that you can protect and provide is going to cap itself. It's going to plateau. Okay. Then you're going to look around 5 years, 10 years from now and go, hey, I'm the same. Everything else has changed, but I'm the same. I'm no better. I may not be worse, but I'm definitely not better. So don't give yourself that permission. The third one here to ponder is, how can we test ourselves? Well, I'll tell you how. You infuse yourself into environments that hold you accountable to that standard. Create a standard first. Take it right out of the Bible. Like I said, if you're called to be a follower of Christ, which you are because you're listening to this, look in and see who God says you are, and then build your standard around that. He's not going to say something about you that you can't live up to because he made you and he knows you better than you know yourself, and you're in his image. Okay, so that's where we start, as we create that standard, but then we infuse ourselves into environments that are going to put us to the test, that are going to hold us accountable to that standard. Okay, that's the third one to ponder. The fourth one here, What you allow, here's a deep one. Deep thought, get comfortable on the couch. Kick your shoes off if you need to. Get another pillow propped up under your head because this one's going to be a banger. Here you go. What you allow is what you become. And I bet I didn't make that up. I'm sure I heard that somewhere. And I'm sure you're nodding your head right now because you know I didn't. That's not unique to me. Someone, I don't know where, but I can't give them credit. So I think what we allow is what we become because we're excusing the excuses. That one is mine. Excusing the excuses. We've actually opened the door. We've welcomed them in with, tea and crumpets, these excuses. We've made them feel at home, feel comfortable, and we're so used to them that we're, that's an acquired taste, and we've basically built that acquired taste. We've gotten used to it. And so what you allow is what you're going to become. And then you're going to look around and go, how did I get here? What happened to the guy that was really wanting to get better and grow? What happened to the guy that wanted to lose a few pounds, get some more muscle? What happened to the guy that wanted to have his finances in order, leveled up in his relationship, at his work, striving for excellence, serving people? What happened to that guy? Well, he excused the excuses and he got to become what he allowed himself to do. And so those are the things to ponder. Now you can get off the couch. That session was free. Anyway, here we go. Now we're getting into the nuts and bolts. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Understandards tonight. 3 ways I'm going to help you stop living below the standard, not your standard. Your standard hasn't worked for a while now. And even if it has, have you been like Rocky, feeling like it's worked, but you've been fighting all these chumps and your belt that you're defending is kind of counterfeit? Are you celebrating wins that really shouldn't be wins because you're not pushing yourself? So here you go. 3 ways we're going to set this new standard and you're going to live up to it, not below it. So the first one we're going to do, how we're going to do this, is we're going to disarm the deficiency. Okay. We're going to disarm what we've considered to be our weakest spots, areas we don't overachieve, areas we feel inferior in or inadequate, things that we don't feel quite knowledgeable or quite capable enough. Okay. We're going to disarm that. Get that out of your system. Be the ignorant little 5-year-old kid that doesn't know what he doesn't know. Go out and try things, even if you think you can't do it. I go back to the weightlifting thing. Granted, I know you're sitting there going, God, is that all you do? You don't have any hobbies? Pretty much. This is my hobby, serving you, doing this for free, podcasting in 200, almost 50 episodes. And I enjoy it. I lift weights. I do things that don't require me to be away from the house for hours or days at a time. And maybe there will be a season down the road where I get some other ones whenever the nest is empty. But for now, this is the season we're in. But yeah, lifting weights. Okay. I know that I'm not good at lifting lower body. I know that I'm weakest there. I know that I took years off from that aspect. But one day, and I don't know what caused it, I think I got tired of seeing my bird legs and my little scrawny, bony butt and decided I maybe want to do something about it. Now, genetically, I don't think I'm ever going to have tree trunk legs. I know I'm not. But I did not want to do it because I knew how little I was going to put on that bar. And thank God I work out alone and not in a gym, in my garage, thankfully. But look, 6-7 months later, here I am, and I feel okay about where I am. But I wasn't not going to do it because I thought, man, you're going to look like a pansy. There's women doing more weight than you. And I just didn't even think about it. I just did it because I knew what I wanted at the end result. I knew where I wanted to go. And I knew I had to get there a certain way. And I knew it was going to take baby steps. And that's what it did. So I disarmed the deficiency that I had. Okay. You have deficiencies too. In your relationship, right? With your spouse or your kids, maybe you're deficient in communication. Maybe you suck at talking about feelings, or maybe you aren't very good at asking good open-ended questions. So you just avoid it altogether. Are you under aiming because you're fearful of undershooting? Like, are you not backing up from the target because you think you might miss it? Does it do any good to shoot free throws from half the distance? If you're making 100 in a row and you're shooting from 5 feet, is that really, what does that say about you? Nothing really. So I say, go after the deficiencies, pursue what you're not good at, and see what happens. You might surprise yourself. I think we're afraid to invest in ourselves or invest in a task if we're not operating at a surplus. So, not financially speaking, but in our character, okay, our our personal and character capital that we have, personality capital. Are we afraid to invest because we're not operating at a surplus? So we're not thinking we got extra to give, so we're not really shooting for a hard target because we know we're already behind the 8 ball. We know we're already deficient. So we're going to move the goalpost a little bit to be more advantageous and to make us look like we're better than we are. So anyway, I say disarm the deficiency, guys. Stop thinking about it. Go back to not knowing what you don't know and go at it with some ignorant bliss. Okay. Go after it with just some level of ignorance of, maybe I suck at this. I don't really know though. I'm going to find out. Worst case scenario, you confirm what you already thought. Second one, incapacitate insecurities. Okay. That's going to fold right in nicely with the first one. Okay. Again, we are misunderstanding ourselves here. And I'm giving you 3 ways to stop living below the standards. So the second one is incapacitate your insecurity. Insecurities are just innate within us. I don't think we have to develop them, honestly. I think all we have to do is be born with vision and ability to look around and see other people doing things. And I think we're instantaneously insecure in whatever aspect, maybe not a ton of aspects, not every aspect, but at least one, we're insecure automatically about something. You go to gym class, okay, everybody's in the shower. Maybe you're insecure. Okay. You're doing I don't know, you're in speech class and you're trying to memorize for a speech and you're insecure because you don't have a very good memory. So you're sweating bullets. We're all insecure, guys. I mean, you can just look around and you're immediately going to start comparing to somebody else. And then you're immediately going to start defaulting to where you're weakest at. Okay. So if we can incapacitate insecurities, it'll keep us from projecting that onto other people. It'll keep us from projecting that onto some particular task or endeavor that might be our calling, might just be that game changer that delivers us right into our purpose, like right into our destiny. You don't know, but we're afraid, right? We're projecting our insecurities onto other people. That's almost 100% why we struggle in a relationship, why we have conflict, why we have fractured relationships. I'm telling you, our insecurities it's either pride or insecurity or both, because those are evil twins of each other. We could trace it back to one of those two things or both. So I can't say get rid of your insecurities because I've got a ton of them. I just like you, like they're going to be a thing, but we can't let them be why we fall short, why we don't raise the bar in our life, why we don't hit the standard or create the standard that is going to stretch us. They can't be the reason anymore. We've got to just say whatever. They are what they are. If you don't have any insecurities, you're lying. Okay. Maybe you've got very few. That's great. Bless your heart. But I'm saying those, if we project those and we start giving those time in our mind, we start giving those a voice and power them. If we empower those insecurities, we will fall short. We will continue to get what we've been getting because we got what we got when we get what we've been getting. Follow that? Cool. All right. Last one here, guys. Number 3, play with pain. Just play with pain. I mean, you know, your ego has gotten in the way long enough. Eliminate the ego. Edge out the ego. I'm searching for alliteration here with ego. I got to say, everybody's got a little bit of one. And it goes back to the one right before that. I mean, I think ego is overcompensation for insecurity. I think everybody would probably agree with that. There's a confidence, there's an arrogance that I guess could be healthy, but ego's not ever healthy because it makes it about you, makes it about whatever you got to do to the people around you to get yours. Okay. Whatever that yours is. But play with pain, guys. Play with pain. Get off the gurney. Stop empowering those who hurt you in the past. Stop using the crutch of victimhood from whatever betrayal, whatever failure, whatever hurt you had relationally, whatever person shortchanged you, just flat out robbed you, whatever. Robbed you relationally, financially, professionally, whatever somebody did to you. Stop empowering them. Take the keys back. You're giving them the keys to you falling short of a standard because you're afraid to play with pain. You'd rather just not play. You'd rather just sit over on the sideline with crutches and hold the clipboard. Guess what? That guy still gets a ring if the team wins a championship, but there was no risk. Okay. You let the pain keep you off the field. I'm saying play with pain. I've seen guys, you've watched football long enough to watch guys limp off, and then here they come back on the field, and you're like, how is he even still standing, putting weight on that ankle or that knee? But it's about how much somebody wants it. It's about the standard that they have set that they are not going to allow themselves to fall short of, or if they do, they're going to go out bleeding and agonizing in pain and leaving it all on the field. If they're going to fall short, they're going to definitely know they were in the fight. So stop empowering the past pain that you've had and play with it. In fact, use it as fuel. Use it as a chip on your shoulder if you have to. But the standard is set for you. It was set long ago. Your creator, your Father in heaven created it. He made you and he created the standard. So let's live up to it. Let's start extending the bar. Let's start elevating our expectation of ourselves beyond what is comfortable. So let me recap. Okay. The three ways that you're going to stop living below the standard. First one is you're going to disarm the deficiency. Okay. You're going to stop shooting short shots. You're going to stop under aiming because you're afraid of undershooting. Okay. That's the first one. Second one is you're going to incapacitate the insecurities. Whatever they are, don't give them a name. Don't give them any more airtime in your life. Don't be afraid to invest just because you're not operating at a surplus. And then finally, play with pain. Stop giving those people or those circumstances that hurt you in the past. Stop giving them the keys. Stop giving them a pass to your life. Stop letting them lead you. Put them in the back seat. You're driving the bus. With that, be blessed.